We are live in 3, 2, 1.
Two volunteers from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are on their way home after being detained by the Russian government.
A snowmobiler is safe and at home after being rescued near Daniel Summit.
We want to be good members of the community.
Provo pet stores are breathing a sigh of relief after the City Council postpones a pet store policy. Welcome to Newsline. It's March 20th, 2019. I'm Paula Kiko Chandler.
And I'm Madeline Reber. The Provo City Fire Department is getting additional funds to purchase new firefighting equipment.
Newsline reporter Nikki Wilson has more.
Animal advocacy groups are concerned about pet overpopulation and animal health. The agenda item, if passed, would prohibit commercial sale of dogs, cats, and rabbits at pet stores in Provo. One local pet store, Jay's Jungle, says missing out on 4 or 5 rabbit sales a year is no big deal, but the local IFA could be heavily impacted.
IFA's always been involved in the agriculture community, particularly with animals, livestock, and rabbits have been a big part of that.
Several committee members saw no need to immediately implement the policy, especially since no pet stores in Provo currently sell dogs or cats. Other members expressed concerns over rabbit spread illnesses.
We understand kind of the concerns of the city and the things that they're trying to do. We want to be good members of the community.
The council decided to revisit the issue in a future meeting once health and overpopulation concerns have been researched further. Chief Jim Miguel of the Provo Fire Department attended the meeting to request reallocation of funding for equipment and reconstruction purposes. Firefighters have a high risk of developing cancer. They need special washing machines and up-to-date equipment to lower that risk. It is unlikely, according to the fire chief, that any improvement will be made in limiting fire season in Utah and surrounding areas. Fire season now lasts 6 to 7 months out of the year, and the Provo Fire Department covers more than just Provo.
We were some of the main resources. Utah County sent a huge amount of resources, and Provo sent about half of our resources.
The council voted unanimously to provide the fire department with the funding they need to buy better equipment.
Their funding, and the Provo City Council will meet again in 2 weeks and possibly come to a decision on the proposed pet store amendment.
Two detained volunteers of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Russia are now on their way home. 20-year-old Cole Brodowski and 19-year-old David Gagg spent 2 weeks in custody after Russian authorities arrested them for teaching English without a license. The church says that the two volunteers are now in safe hands and are returning to the United States. The church will closely monitor all volunteers in Russia and continue to respect Russian law.
A mother and daughter were found dead in their home in Ogden in what appears to be a murder-suicide, according to the police. Officers found 63-year-old Maria Villalobos and 31-year-old Bianca Villalobos around 2 a.m. after responding to a welfare visit. Officials have not previously have a history with the Villalobos home, which is located at 1627 27th Street, and are still investigating the motive.
An 87-year-old woman died after a head-on car crash near Sardine Canyon. A truck driven by an 88-year-old man carrying the woman drove the wrong way on U.S. Highway 91 and struck a van. The van ended up on top of the median, closing the highway for several hours, which was later reopened around 4 p.m. yesterday. The drivers were injured but are expected to make a full recovery. Police suspect fatigue or a medical condition as the cause of the crash.
A man was arrested yesterday for sexually assaulting and holding a hairstylist at gunpoint at a hair salon back in January. 64-year-old Stephen Strait had once been cleared of a murder charge but has now been booked back into jail on $33,000 bail. In January, Strait entered the salon, held a gun to a woman's head, and asked her to play his game, according to documents. He then paid her $200 as hush money. He is being charged for aggravated sexual assault and aggravated assault.
The first funeral for one of the victims of the Christchurch terror attack was held this morning in New Zealand. Hundreds of people attended the service at Memorial Park Cemetery in New Zealand, including New Zealand residents that have been reaching out to Muslims in their neighborhoods and around the country. There has been a fierce determination to show kindness to the suffering Muslim community all over the world. 50 people were killed and 50 others were injured during the shooting last week. This is the first of many funerals for the victims, and as tragic as the day was, New Zealand authorities say it could have been worse. John Lawrence reports.
The man accused of opening fire in 2 mosques may have planned a 3rd shooting.
We strongly believe we stopped him on the way to a further attack. So lives were saved by our staff.
A 28-year-old Australian is charged with murder. Additional charges are expected.
Speak the names of those who were lost, rather than the name of the man who took them. He may have sought notoriety, but we in New Zealand will give him nothing, not even his name.
Authorities say they are gathering all the information needed for prosecution.
Of course, we would like to do that as quickly as possible, but it must be done as professionally and accurately as possible.
As the investigation continues, funerals for shooting victims were held Wednesday, local time.
We are talking to each other, we console each other, we support each other, and we grieve together, as a community.
Everybody is grieving here, and from the Prime Minister down to young children in schools.
The country will hold a 2-minute silence to honor the victims of the massacre on Friday.
Let New Zealand be a place where there is no tolerance for racism, ever. And that's something we can all do.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Davis County Animal Control says they have enough evidence to start the process to determine the fate of 2 dogs that bit off a 4-year-old boy's hand earlier this month. On March 3rd, a 4-year-old boy trying to play with his neighbor's dogs through the fence ended up in the hospital without a hand. The initial investigation began shortly after the incident, which occurred near 1100 North and 3600 West. Animal Control say they have a final decision. They won't have a final decision until next week, and they will have one by the end of next week.
Wasatch Search and Rescue located a stranded snowmobiler. Last night at around 6 p.m., a woman called Wasatch 911 Center. She had been sledding alone near the Strawberry area when she got stuck in the snow. She was unable to dig out her snowmobile by herself and was stranded. Search and Rescue found her and helped her get back to the trailhead at Daniel Summit safely. Snowmobilers are advised to never go out in the backcountry alone.
Right now, the Utah County Department of Health is wrapping up their Women's Health Fair. NewsLine reporter Danny Hallows joins us now. Danny, what is this health fair for in Utah?
Well, in about 30 minutes, I had everything from my glaucoma screening exam and a blood pressure check, which apparently my blood pressure is perfect, by the way. But the fair is all free services provided to women so that they can feel a sense of hope with their health.
Garden of Hope. It's a perfect name on the first day of spring, but it's also a perfect name for the services that the Utah County Department of Health is trying to provide. The annual Garden of Hope Women's Health Fair is a blooming place. Women can get free services like vision tests, blood pressure exams, and all kinds of nutritional help like diabetes tests and grocery store coupons. I even decided to join in on the fun, but I did stay away from all the needles.
Good job.
Utah women who are over 40 and qualify can walk in today and get their free mammogram screening for the year. The purpose of this fair is all designed to give women hope.
What we hope for women as they leave this event is to know what resources are available to them in the community.
Laura Nelson of the Department of Health works countless hours to bring this fair together every year.
We like to make it look really fun and springy and welcoming. So it takes a lot of work, but it's totally worth it.
She says that Utah is below the national average in mammogram screenings, but the fair should change that.
And we just really want them to know that there are things available for them.
Around 300 women will visit the fair today, and hopefully they'll leave with a spring in their step.
If you missed the Women's Health Fair today, the Utah County Department of Health offers free mammograms to those who qualify by just signing up on their website. Back to you.
The Salt Lake City Police Department celebrates the strong women of the police force in honor of National Women's History Month. The historic photo was taken of all past and present female police officers for the police department. Police Chief Mike Brown tweeted, "I am so proud to work side by side with these strong leading women." Salt Lake Mayor Jackie Biskupski was also present and gave a speech to the women. Biskupski tweeted that our police force must mirror the community it serves, and these women are invaluable members of the SLCPD team.
Please practice what to do in an active shooter situation.
It's important because it is something that could happen.
How first responders are training for the potential deadly scenario.
Man, get all your kids by the window.
A mother throws her baby out of the window of a burning building. See the video of the desperate move and find out what the woman does with her other children.
You might want to check out your refrigerator. Although fruits and vegetables may seem clean, they could be very dirty. We'll tell you which produce made the Dirty Dozen list.
Spring is here along with blossoms, or that's what it should be. A festival is underway, but spring may not have realized it.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
How does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
President Donald Trump continues to attack the late Senator John McCain more than 6 months after his death.
I was never a fan of John McCain, and I never will be.
The president doubled down on his criticism of McCain, blaming him for the failure of his effort to repeal Obamacare. The criticism from the president came the same day as a hateful message was sent to the senator's wife, Cindy. The message telling Cindy that they're glad that her husband is dead before attacking her daughter, Meghan. Both Cindy and Meghan are upset and seemingly unsurprised by the president's disparaging comments towards McCain.
The fire at a Texas petrochemical facility has finally been put out. What started as a fire in one tank last Tuesday spread to 7 tanks yesterday. Officials say that all tank fires were put out early this morning. Firefighters are still spraying foam and water on the tanks to prevent the blaze from reigniting. 8 Texas school districts are closed today as smoke looms overhead. Authorities have tried to reassure the public that the air quality is safe. The cause of the fire is still unknown. An incredible rescue was caught in video as a mother threw her children out of a burning building. It was the only choice the mother had, as officers told her to throw the children out the window. Officers comforted the children until the mother was rescued. The family is safe and the fire is still under investigation.
The European Union is going after Google for $1.7 billion. The EU says that the tech giant committed numerous antitrust violations when it came to online advertising. This is the third massive fine the EU has imposed on Google since 2017. Google is appealing the first 2 fines, but they have not yet responded to the lawsuit that was filed today. Disney officially finalized their $71 billion acquisition of 21st Century Fox. Disney is currently in the process of selling more than 20 Fox region sports channels as part of the deal. What remains of the 21st Century Fox will continue as Fox Corporation. Fox Corporation will control the Fox Broadcasting Network, Fox News Channel, and various local news stations.
The Environmental Working Group released its dirtiest dozen list of fruits and vegetables, and strawberries came out first because they were tainted with pesticide residue. After strawberries, spinach, and kale came in second and third place respectively, the top clean foods are avocados, sweet corn, and pineapples.
With the increase of mass shootings, Utah police agencies are trying to help law enforcement prepare for potential situations. Kelsey Carlson reports.
Over 20 emergency agencies, along with volunteers from areas around Salt Lake County, came together to practice what an active shooter situation might be like.
They've got fake blood on some of the victims, and even seeing that in people with fake gun wound shots to maybe their head or something like that, I mean, that definitely affects you, and it definitely makes you want to be more prepared for something like this.
Police entered Salt Lake Community College at 9 a.m. for a 5-hour simulation. Multiple active shooters, a hostage situation, realistic injuries, and evacuating survivors safely were just some of the exercises that were part of the mock mass shooting.
It's one thing for to go to training and watch a PowerPoint and see what you're supposed to do. It's a completely entirely different thing as an officer or fireman, even paramedic that would be encountering this situation.
The training will help officers gain skills to respond to similar situations in the future. Police, most importantly, hope that what law enforcement learned today will help keep our communities safer and prevent tragedy.
Using that lessons learned across the United States and attending training across the United States so that we can bring that here and provide better for the public safety.
Thanks, Kelsey. Police hope that the exercise will help first responders prepare for the worst.
As BYU TV rolls out a big rebrand, several new shows have made their way to the channel. NewsLine reporter Amber Peterson tells us about the new improv comedy show, Show Offs.
Season 1 of Show Offs premiered on BYU TV Monday night. The new improv show aims to bring laughter through clean comedy to viewers of all ages.
They want to appeal to a wide range of ages, but still keep it fun and relevant.
Trenton James debuts in the show as the announcer and sound effects guru with a whole table of sound effect toys at his fingertips.
Hey, I'm opening the soda. I do the while they're doing the pantomime and stuff like that.
In order for Show Offs to be a successful improv show, the cast relies heavily on the responses of the studio audience.
We need something that's enchanted. What's like an object or something that's enchanted?
The crew is also ready for anything the audience throws their way. Racks of costumes line backstage in every genre and size. The cast never knows whether the audience will have them dressed up in Western attire or decked out in fantasy glitter and colored wigs. Besides the amazing costumes, Show Offs is a unique improv show due to the type of comedy that is done.
Comedy in itself, it is easy to go in a dirty or in a raunchy direction and be funny. Clean comedy forces you to be smarter about it.
All the stories told on Show Offs are appropriate for adults as well as young kids.
With this new rebranding, I think there's a show that, hey, we all like this show together. There's things I like about it, there's things you like about it.
Season 1 will continue to release a new episode each Monday, and filming for Season 2 is already underway. Reporting for Newsline in Provo, I am Amber Peterson.
The National Cherry Blossom Festival begins today in our nation's capital. The event celebrates the beauty of nature and international friendship, specifically with Japan, who gifted the U.S. more than 3,000 cherry trees back in 1912. And while the trees haven't bloomed this year yet, the festival will still begin. The National Park Service says that this year's peak cherry blossom bloom is predicted for April 3rd to the 6th. And while blooming of blossoms may be a little bit late, the April showers are coming in a little bit early. But luckily, due to the temperatures you can kind of see on the map here, it is going to most likely be showers and not snow. So this is the precipitation, the probability of it. You do see that we're going to get a good amount of green in Utah, and then it's going to break, and then we're going to get some more green. Meanwhile, you will also see that this blue is actually chances of snow. So there are parts of the state that will likely get snow over the next couple days. As we go to our highs today, we are looking very warm. Salt Lake City is at a 60, 58 in Provo. Vernal is the lowest at 44 degrees. And St. George is at 68 degrees, so almost 70 degrees. So that is a beautiful day. It's a good day to go out, grab your longboard, skateboard, maybe just go on a walk, take the kids out. It's a good day. Our lows are going to be a 39 in Salt Lake City, 41 in Provo. St. George is still at a 48. Vernal is dropping to a 23. And so you do want to keep in mind that as the rains come in the next couple days, these areas that are colder like Vernal and Logan may actually get some snow. So do keep that in mind. As we go to our 5-day forecast for St. George, we're going to have rain starting tomorrow, and then it's going to be cloud cover with sunshine for the weekend and coming in at the beginning of next week. So you can have a good end to your weekend and a good start to the next week. As we go to our 5-day forecast for northern Utah, we are looking at quite a bit of rain, but look at the bright side, it shouldn't be snow for the most part. For the unlucky few who are still going to get snow, hopefully that's kind of your thing. But do keep in mind that even though there will be rain and those sorts of things, temperatures should be generally warmer. And so that should be pretty comfortable.
Great. Well, I didn't even wear a coat to the newsroom today, so I'm loving this.
Yeah, today felt really good. Hey Blake, what's up in sports?
We got a lot of stuff going on in sports. We got some basketball, some UFC. We also have some soccer. Coming up, former RSL coach Jason Kreis has a new coaching position. Find out who he will be coaching and why it is a huge deal for soccer fans. Also, Mike Trout is getting a big payday over the next 12 years. Find out how much he will be making coming up.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Former RSL head coach Jason Kreis has been hired to coach the U.S. under-23 team. After the U.S. failed to qualify for the London and Rio de Janeiro games, Kreis will be tasked to reach next year's Olympic tournament. Kreis was the coach of RSL from 2007 to 2013 and won the MSL Cup title in 2009. He will coach the team for the first team in exhibition on Friday against Egypt. Following their blowout win against the Wizards on Monday, the Utah Jazz will continue their road trip as they face the New York Knicks tonight. The Jazz have been on a roll over the last month or so, winning 9 of their last 13 games and looking for a 5th straight win. The Knicks are coming off of a 36-point loss and have lost their last 6 meetings against the Jazz. A win tonight would be huge for the Jazz as they would tie for the 6th seed in the Western Conference with the Oklahoma City Thunder. With just 12 games left in the season, every game counts. It was a wild night in Sacramento as the Brooklyn Nets took on the Sacramento Kings and posted their biggest comeback in franchise history.
Dudley, top of the key, 3 is good! They've come all the way back!
Going into the fourth quarter, the Nets trailed by 25 points and it looked to be all over. However, All-Star D'Angelo Russell poured in 44 points, including 27 in the fourth quarter alone, to lead them back and get a win over the Kings. This now puts the Nets comfortably at the 7th seed and a game and a half ahead of the 8th seed. UFC bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw has voluntarily relinquished his title belt after testing positive over a prohibited substance prior to his fight against UFC flyweight champion Henry Cejudo in January of this year. The New York State Athletic Commission claims it has suspended Dillashaw for 1 year and fined him $10,000 for these events. Dillashaw is just one of 4 champions who have relinquished their titles due to failed drug tests in UFC history. Dillashaw was planned to fight Henry Cejudo at 135 pounds this year in a rematch. With this suspension, it is likely that bantamweight #1 contender Marlon Moraes will fill that spot to fight for the vacant title.
Angels center fielder Mike Trout has finalized the largest contract in professional sports history. The deal is a 12-year, $430 million deal that is likely to keep Trout with the Angels for the remainder of his career. Trout has won 2 American League MVPs and finished second 4 times. Trout will earn nearly $36 million a year. This tops Zach Greinke's previous record of $34.4 million per year. We'll be right back.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it. Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
The musician lineup for the 50th anniversary Woodstock concert is revealed. Headliners for the concert include artists Jay-Z, Chance the Rapper, Santana, and many others. More than 80 different musical acts will be performed in the 3-day festival, which will be held in the iconic area of the Catskills Mountains near New York City, where the festival was originally held 50 years ago. The concert will run from August 16th to 18th, and tickets go on sale on Earth Day, which is April 22nd.
I can't believe it's been 50 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I actually had a roommate who had a poster that had like Woodstock, and it had a replica of one of the tickets.
That's pretty impressive. Great, thanks for joining us for Newsline today.
Please visit our website.
Have a great day.